It was the day after 420, and all was about, and little Premier Logic sat and thought about. What should I talk about? Today he pondered. 420 was the day of National Weed Smoke. He sat and pondered. Now what if I told my audience about a grand old time where I hit my first blunt and smoked my first grind? Now he thought that would be a great idea, but pondered he thought. What if the fans don't like that? He looked at the camera with lust and glee and said, fuck it. I'm gonna do it and end up on MTV.
Oh my god, Premier Logic!
So yo, what's up you guys, it's Premier. Welcome back to the channel. Hopefully you guys are all having a wonderful day and happy day after 420. But yeah, today we're going to be talking about my first time ever indulging in the fantastic world that is weed smoke. Yeah, basically we're going to be talking about the first time I ever smoked weed. I don't smoke weed anymore, and I never really started to smoke weed either. It was just kind of something that I did like once or twice. I think I've like only smoked like once or twice in my entire life. And let me tell you guys first off, right away off the bat, like if you guys smoke weed or anything like that, don't have an issue with you. Yeah, so if you guys like smoke up and stuff like that, I have no issue with you or at all or anything. I actually think that smoking is probably better for you than drinking, so, you know, it cures some pain and stuff like that, and you're not gonna be like an alcoholic or a fucking drug addict or some shit. So yeah, basically my first time smoking weed, dude, it wasn't like, I did a little bit of research on a lot of what other people were saying and stuff like that, not because I want to alter my story or anything like that, but I just actually kind of curious of what everybody else would say, you know, and I was like sitting there, I swear this is how like 95% of the stories go. It's just like,
oh yeah, my friend Roscoe had like he had some orange blueberry kush, and then he kidnapped me, and then he stuffed me in a fucking fridge and made me smoke weed with him.
It's not exactly like that, but it's pretty close to being like that. Not really, but a lot of people are like, oh yeah, dude, I hallucinated after the first time I smoked weed. I'm just like, no, you didn't. You really didn't. But yeah, so like the first time I ever smoked weed was, I think I was a junior in high school, or maybe I was a senior in high school. It was right after like my truck that I had broke, and then I had to go back to my old truck. I had to like go get my old truck back. It was towards the end of my senior year, I'm pretty sure. It was like kind of like beginning of baseball season and stuff like that, and I was still living in Arizona at the time. My best friend was always indulging. He loved it. He smoked weed all the time, and I never had an issue with it. And the coolest thing about like having friends that do it that are really cool and like that you're like your best friends, they'll like never like peer pressure you into it. If you don't want to do it, they just don't care. My friend had been smoking weed for like an extremely long amount of time, never really even bugged me about it, never asked me to do it, nothing. He just kind of was just like, if you do want to do it, just let me know. If you don't, like, it's fine, you don't have to. And I was in my old truck and I was hanging out with my buddy, and he's like, hey dude, I gotta stop at one of our friends' house, smoke a little bit of weed. I was like, alright, yeah dude, no problem. And then I was like, yeah dude, no problem at all, let's go. I brought him to another one of my friends' houses, and then he got out and he's like, hey dude, before you get out, do you wanna smoke? And I was like, I don't really know, man, like I've been really good like not doing it for like this long. Kind of like a clean kid pretty much throughout my whole entire like high school and stuff. I mean, of course I went to parties and drank and stuff like that, but I was pretty much a good kid most of the time. I was like, I don't know, man, I've gone like this far without doing it, you know what I mean? Like, and I just don't really know, but I was like, but yeah, dude, I'll try it. And he's like, all right, cool. So he brought me up into my, there was like 3 of my friends there, and it was one of my friends' houses. He brought me inside, and they're all just sitting around watching like Scooby-Doo or some shit. And we sat down on the couch, and then we're all just sitting there, and he's like, my other friend looked at all of us, he's like, yo, let's go outside. So we went outside, and like it wasn't as like weird as like I thought it would be. Like I thought legitimately, like not like my friends would be doing this anyway, but like they'd kind of be like in like kind of hiding it or something like that, right? Like you'd think that they're just like gonna like kind of hide about it and then like, you know, secretly do it somewhere or something like that, right? No, we just did it in this parking lot. They were just sitting there passing this blunt around. I have like not anxiety, but I get really nervous when I'm put into situations that I don't know how it's gonna go or turn out. And they passed it to me, and I was just like standing there looking at it. I was like, take a hit, like a smoking a cigarette. Just kind of like do that, but like inhale it. It's like let it sit, because then you'll get like the best effects or some shit. I don't really know how it went. Okay, this was a couple years ago, so I was like, okay. So I took it. I was like, I was fucking dying. Like I legitimately thought I was gonna die because it like burnt so bad right here, and I had like no idea that it would do this. I don't know. I was a kid that like I never smoked before then. I never did anything. So like this was like the first time I ever put like actually like inhaled something. Other than that, like I've never done anything like that, and I thought I was legitimately gonna like die. I was coughing like the whole entire time. Of course they laughed at me, right? And I passed it, and then it kept going back and around and back and around, and then it was out, and there was like this much left, like the last bit left, right? And my buddy is like, yo, you gotta hit it, and then hit it hard. Like, these are the last hits that you have to take, and then just like hit it extremely hard. And I was like, okay? Like, it felt so weird, especially to me. Like, I was like, oh my god. I thought I was like suffocating almost in a way, because I had like shit in my lungs and stuff, and like in my throat that I never had there before, like smoke and stuff. So I was like, okay, and I handed it back, and like everyone goes, and it's over, right? They put it out and it's done. I didn't feel like anything for kind of not a long time, but I didn't really feel anything. Like, I just felt like pretty normal, actually. I was just like sitting there. I was like, I asked my buddy like constantly. I was like, all right, man, like, am I supposed to feel something? He's like, sometimes people first try, they don't feel anything. Some people like, they just kind of just don't, and then people that have built up like tolerance and stuff to certain things, they don't. And like, he's like, you might feel something, but you might not. I don't really know, man. I was like, okay. He's like, my first time I didn't. So I was like, all right. So I was like kind of expecting like not to feel anything at all. Like, I was just kind of like sitting there like, all right, well, you know, I smoked, not gonna get high, I'm not gonna do something really stupid, which is good, you know. I'm not gonna do anything like embarrassing or something like that. Well, no, that's bullshit. And straight up, like 10 minutes go by, and we all we're like, oh, yo, let's go watch the baseball game. Another one of our friends are playing baseball, just like hang out, just chill. I was like, all right, man, all right. I got my truck, and my buddy that brought me there, he got in with me, and we're both sitting there, and legit, I don't know what happened. I started the truck, and I kind of just leaned back into my chair, kind of like this. I kind of just like sunk in. I was just like sitting there like that, and I put my hand on the steering wheel and just drove. And my buddy was just like sitting there looking at me like, what the fuck? And I was just like laughing my ass off. Like, it was just hilarious to me that I was just leaning down in my chair. Like, I was like just sinking in my chair. I thought that shit was the funniest thing in my life. Like, it was so funny. And then he starts doing it, and then like making like weird noises. I mean, my buddy was pretty awkward. Like, he was pretty random and stuff. But he would just be like, he was like, I was just like laughing, dude. I just couldn't stop laughing. I was just laughing so hard, dude. I just couldn't stop laughing. And my best friend like definitely made the best out of it for me. Like, he was just hilarious. Or I mean, obviously I was on drugs, but you know, I was like, dude, it was definitely one of the funniest things I think I've ever seen in my life. So we finally get to this baseball game, surprisingly, but at least the house was pretty close to like the baseball field. And me and my buddy, me and my best friend, man, I don't know, like we were like on a different level. We were just like walking around and just talking about stupid stuff. And I just remember it was like some of the funniest things in my life. Like, it was pretty funny at that moment. And there's this girl that we knew, right? And she starts walking up to us, and she's like hopping and skipping and shit, and she slips and falls, and I just bursted into laughing. I remember everyone kind of got mad at me for laughing like that. Like, I was laughing so hard because it was actually really funny, and I would have laughed anyway because I'm a jerk. But it was like so funny, dude. I just couldn't hold it anymore after that happened. I laughed so hard because she slipped and ate shit so freaking bad. It was so bad, like I just couldn't hold myself anymore. Like, I just legitimately couldn't stop laughing. And I laughed about that for the rest of the night. I laughed about it for the rest of the night. Or most of the time. I just think about it and laugh, and just think about it and laugh. And then my buddy would be like, yo, what are you thinking about? I'm like, I was thinking about when she ate shit. He's like, me too. And then we just start laughing again. So, because I was in such a good mood, because I was with my friend, right? I was with my friend, and we were having a good time together. And like, how you feel almost in a way is you feel like weightless in a way, and your mind is like, you're still there. Like, you can still think, and you can still think for yourself and have good conversations with everybody. Like, you can have really good conversations with people like that. But if you're just there and like trying to have a good time and just like just vibing out and just chilling, it is probably the best, some of the best feelings in the world. Like, I don't smoke weed anymore. Like, I definitely don't. I didn't ever really start smoking weed in the first place. Did it like a couple of times, and that was really about it my entire life. But I don't like having something like try to affect like my mood or something like that. So like, that's why I don't smoke. Just had a good time. And if you're with some people that you know and you like and enjoy, and they don't push it on you or like say anything that's like stupid or weird or like makes you feel awkward or anything, you'll have a good time. And like, I'm not recommending everyone just to be like, oh, yo, 420 blaze it and fucking smoke a bunch of weed and shit. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. Just saying that if you want to try it, there's nothing wrong with trying anything. You're never gonna know if you're gonna like it, dislike it. I'm not saying like if you're a kid, like go out and smoke weed because it's the most amazing thing. I mean, there is pros and cons to it. I mean, it's illegal in some states, or a lot of states, to be honest. It's illegal. You know, if your parents don't like you doing it, or if you're just being an idiot while you're on it, like, just don't do it, right? I have no problem with anybody that smokes weed. I never have, never probably will, because it's everybody that smokes weed or just does anything. Like, if it makes you happy, like, I don't really care. And as long as things make you happy and you're at least productive or just like cool about it and not a complete asshole or whatever, like, I don't mind if you smoke weed or do anything like that. I don't care. You know, just take care of yourself and shit. But I really believe that if I wasn't with my friend, like, I would have not had a good time. Like, if it was with anybody else other than my best friend, I probably would have had a really salty and bad time. So if you guys ever really want to try it, like I'm saying, I'm not telling you to try it. I'm not saying you should do it or anything like that. I'm not. But if you ever do, you know, try to like find some people that you really enjoy being around, or like your friends, your best friend. So yeah, guys, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I know it's weird and everything like that. Definitely not a video that I'm normally doing and stuff. Always the story times are always a good time in my life. So yeah, let me know what you guys thought about the video down in the comment section below. Hopefully you guys liked it, and if you feel like it, subscribe and leave a like. But you don't have to. It's free though. It is free. But yeah, guys, hopefully the rest of your day is the absolute best of your day, and peace.